Okie dokie. Big and a pokey. Good evening and welcome to a live stream that I've been looking forward to since I first heard about this game. Apologies for the failure to launch just then. I was trying to get the chat bot up and running, and for some reason this evening it's not even opening. Maybe I need to update it or something. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. But regardless, we are able to play the game of the night, and that is SABLE. I'm so interested in this game. I'm so incredibly curious as to what it's going to be like to play. And, well, here we are, SABLE. It was meant to be going live here, at least, around about 4 o'clock this afternoon. But it became available around 2 o'clock this afternoon. I don't know, but that's good because it meant I could download it a little bit early. It's about 20 quid for this game, and I could, I just about had some spare dosh lying around, so I thought I'd give it a go. And frankly, anything short of 40, I was going to pay for this because this game has a really cool visual aesthetic. It is designed around the art style of Mobius, an excellent artist, graphic novel legend, and a sort of a simple line and colour maestro. And this game appears to be reflecting those sorts of values in terms of art. Anyway, I'm just enjoying the opening visuals here. And let's dive in, shall we? Press any button to start. Where's the any button? Well, here we go. No, oh wait, look, it knows I missed a soup as well. New game. Empty. Would you like to start a new game? I would. So this game has been released on PC and Xboxes today, and I mean, hopefully it's going to see a release on other platforms as well. I was playing Pandemic Legacy Season 0 earlier this evening with Ruth and Mrs. Soup, and Ruth that is, was saying, is it going to be on Switch? Because I was looking at a review of the game on our TV on YouTube, and she's like, it looks amazing. I was like, it does look amazing. And here we are. I'd like to know more about the development of this game. I believe that the developers were doing a live stream today for the launch. And it's such an excellent decision to go with this art style. Oh, intriguing. I like the harshness of the light as well. Very intriguing. The music is interesting, isn't it? Especially on that opening, that menu screen. Quest started. The ceremony. Moving SABLE. Use WASD to move, or presumably I can use the control stick. I can. Look at those particles in the air. These sort of circles. But look, they can float through the light as well and be highlighted by it. Isn't that cool? Slowly moving the camera around her. I say her because I've read a little bit about the character, and SABLE is on a coming-of-age quest. Do we approach the face? I guess we do. Oh, is that like that's like a stamina meter. A is jump. Can we climb the face? Now, interestingly, the game doesn't seem to apparently doesn't have any combat. It also doesn't have much in the way of fail states. It is a game that the review I was most interested in said that this game will appeal to a fairly limited number of people, a subset of people who enjoy analysis and exploration in games. Now, that's got to be up my alley, hasn't it? And just before we continue, I'm going to do what I always do, and I'm just going to invert the y-axis, vertical axis, inverted. There we go. That feels much better. So how do we exactly? Yes, story driven, and the masks are interesting. Apparently, recovery of masks is central to this game. In fact, are we looking at a mask here on the wall? I wonder. And she was sort of sitting here contemplating the mask. It looks like we can do anything with it. Let's go this way. I like the slightly choppy animation for her movement. That's quite cool. Oh, and that color scheme, that's almost like I don't know, like an ink or something, like watercolor suddenly lighting up the line work at the back in the doorway, isn't it? The way it bleeds beyond the lines a little bit. Press A to jump, yep. Oh, look at these ruins. So much being communicated with line and relatively flat uses of color. Again, this is a Mobius trait. Some of my favourite examples of his work is Edina and Valerian, which obviously there was the movie City of a Thousand Planets, or Planet of a Thousand Cities. I forgot what it's called now. But that was inspired by his work. But the intricacy, it's simple intricacy. That's the thing I love about his art. And it communicates so much with relatively simple a simple design philosophy. Now, of course, this isn't Mobius. We shouldn't make that mistake. But the influence is there. And as soon as I saw a trailer for this game, or even just a still image, I was intrigued. Okay, crouch. Oh, look at the colors outside. Nice. Beautiful. Some wavy geology there, stratigraphy. Okay, I guess we have to see what's going on. I decided to climb up here, so should we go back down again? Can we get out this way? No. Okay, whoops. My mistake. Oh. Come on, off we go. Feels like it's all been designed in SketchUp or something, doesn't it? Good evening, Omni Revan. Oh, look at that hot air balloon in the sky. Okay, how do we get down? Do we just climb down, do we? Even her shadow has an outline. That's really cool. Got this game installing after seeing it on Game Pass day one. Wow. Hold down B to sprint while moving around. You can only sprint whilst you have enough stamina. Yes, that makes sense. That's very similar to Breath of the Wild and Zelda, Link's stamina meter. It's just so gorgeous. What's this? North, Dunboyne. South, the Wind Tower. West, Chums, is written on crudely on a sign. Northwest, Burnt Oak Station. Okay. Interesting. Hopefully, though, they must see, even though it's a new release, they must see some sort of profit coming from their appearance on the Game Pass, mustn't they? Microsoft must, I suppose, with it launching on PC and Xbox, they must have a deal going. How is it that Cyma manages to contain so much chaos and verve in so small a form? Even now, there is something troublesome being dreamed up behind that mask. I know it. Okay. I can feel Jaddy, let's go with Jaddy, smiling behind her mask, just as I know she can feel the teeth-bearing little grimace behind mine. I'm nervous, and she's softly, sweetly amused. In her eyes, I probably have very little to worry about. Jaddy, you know you have nothing to worry about, don't you, Sable? And yet, I shrug, but any attempts to act casual are fruitless. The movement is jerky, and I don't think I've ever been more aware of my little shoulders. She laughs. I mean it! But I know how you are. You're going to be nervous until you've started, and then you'll act like you've been doing it your whole life. Remember the first time you rode a bike? You wouldn't even let me put you on the seat. You were so afraid. Your hands were like little claws gripping onto me. I feel the memory in my fingers. But then I promised you it was going to be all right. I told you how much I had loved riding my bike as a young woman, and how wonderful the wind felt through fabric. Suddenly, there you were. You sat down, you leaned forward and put those little grasping claws on the handles, and you were off. And I remember thinking, just watching you tear over the sand. Look at her. She can do whatever she wants. Jaddy reaches out and places a hand on the edge of my mask. And you can, Sable. I take a breath. I don't know where to start. Jaddy's story warms me, but I feel too overwhelmed to let it settle. I tell her with a sigh that I don't know where to begin, and she chuckles. Well, I can help you with that. You'll need to talk to Hilal and Driss. Driss should already have made the arrangements for your bike, and Hilal will share something. Well, let's say as useful as it is fun. I think I might suspect what Jaddy is saying, but I stay quiet. After that, I suppose we'll see you off. What if I choose the wrong path? I ask Jaddy, what will become of me if I choose the wrong path? There are no wrong paths, Sable, or right ones. I'll be glad if you choose to stay with the Ibexi. It must be us, I guess, the Ibexi. But, truth be told, I'll be glad no matter what, so long as you're happy. Whatever you decide, you do so with my blessing. So don't try using me as an excuse to come home early, eh? She knows me. Now, go speak with Hilal. I'll be there to see you off. And speak to Dress as well. I've told him to arrange your bike with Ciso, but you know how he is. I have something to give you, a compass to help you on your journey. It's the same one I used on my gliding. An artifact, you might say. I take the device in my palm. It fits naturally there, perfectly weighted and crafted. Each component slides together with incredible, satisfying precision. Thank you. Go on, it's nearly time. Okay. Compass, hold button. Oh, no, that's quite a cool way of having the compass. So north, I guess, is where N is. And then we have our two objectives just there. And it's not a mini map. It's not invading the art. It's not on the screen. It's not a HUD. It's um, an optional guide. That's really cool. A little bit like the objective line in Dead Space. That's quite cool. Either Microsoft pay them to put it on the service, or they get paid depending on how much traffic the game sees. I'm not sure how it works. Okay. But either way, I mean, to have it on launch day, they must be, hopefully they must be seeing some sort of benefit. Okay. As I approach Hilal, they give an enthusiastic wave. I've always appreciated Hilal's verve and vigour, and on a day like this, I'm ready to match it, with a touch of nerves for balance. Sable, take this! Hilal hands me a small round stone. As it nettles into my palm, I feel a warmth not borrowed from Hilal's hands, but emanating from within. I run my thumb over it and find it's softly electric, like static on cloth. What's this? I try to sound less confused than I am, but ask Hilal what this is. Oh, Sable, you can't leave without it. What I've just given you is a gliding stone. What do you feel? I tell Hilal that I feel fuzziness, electricity, connectedness. Electricity, I suppose. Electricity. Then you're doing it right. What you feel in that stone is openness. I look at the stone. It seems quite closed. Gliding stones are vessels for the perpetual. They suck up its power like little sponges and hold it there for you to channel. Right now it's empty or dormant and waiting for you to fill it up. I ask, how can I do this? Take it to the temple ruins on the edge of the canyon. You'll be able to activate it there. Halal claps their hands twice and bobs a little. I appreciate their good mood at a time like this. Come back and see me once that's done. I want to hear all about it. As I'm about to leave, Hilal stops me. Oh, you haven't gotten your bike yet, have you? It's a bit of a trek to that temple. Go and see Driss. He was meant to get you that ready for you, yes? I remember Jadi's words now, and tell Hilal I'll go and see Driss. Whispering stones, okay. So, what a gorgeous game so far. And we've barely seen anything. I love the smoke rising up. And it's interesting how by just sort of circling something, by outlining something and having a flat color, you have sort of that two-dimensional sense of smoke. But then with other simple lines, you get a very three-dimensional sense of detail and erosion, even on the tower over there, on the dome, on top of the tower. And in the night, in the dark, the colors are muted, but it's no less beautiful. I played the demo of this, right? You're getting deja vu. No. I don't think there was a demo of this. At least not one that I knew about. I've had this on my wish list for months now. Postbox. Hello, Sable. Unread messages 0. Have a good day. Okie dokie. No, I haven't played this game before. I don't think many people have. Now, I think quite a few people got review copies and probably early access, but certainly not me. Though I've told myself not to be too eager, it's all I can do, not to race up to Driss. Driss is the camp manager. He's been difficult to get hold of lately, but now I strongly suspect that he's been working on my bike in secret. Perhaps it's extra beautiful, or has some custom feature. What will its name be, I wonder? How fast will it go? Will my legs feel sore, or will I get used to it? Driss turns with a bit of a start. Sable, hello? Hello, how are you today? I asked Driss how he is. I'm well. I let it hang there for a moment. But I can't do it. I'm too keen and the words spill out. I asked Driss if he might sort of possibly maybe have a bike for me. Your bike! He yells. He yells it like it's an idea he's just had. Your bike! Yes, of course. Right. Yes, your bike. That I was meant to... That I prepared for you, because today is your... Did you forget? In abject horror, I gently ask if he may have forgotten. What? I could never. It's obviously I have your bike, but by which I mean I arranged it for you in, well, so it's a tutorial for you. A tutorial? Yes, exactly. A learning experience. You see, Sable, before one can have their own bike, one can own their bike, rather, sorry, own their own bike, they must prove that they can ride a bike by taking a test ride on a different bike. I think about it and find I've never heard of that sort of a gliding, that part of the gliding, sorry. But Driss does seem earnest, sort of. So instead of worrying about your bike, I'd like you to try this bike as a test. Driss gestures to the sand cutter at his side. It's quite old and a little shabby. A tester. If I've ever seen one. If ever I've seen one, sorry. I'll give it a go. What's the bike's name? Driss seems scandalised. That's a bit personal, don't you think? It's just sand cutter. Will do for now. Youngsters these days, always asking questions. Now, ride the bike through that ring and back. And here's some advice for you, my young glider. Don't fall off. When you're not riding it, your hover bike will appear as a blue icon on your compass. And there it is. Cool. Cool. Right. Let's ride our bike. RT accelerate. A strafe. Here we go. That makes sense. Where's the ring? Over here? Yeah. It's going quite slowly. Sounds like it's going to break down any second. Where's the ring gone? Is that the ring? That is the ring. How do we get up to it? I'm not sure we can we? Unless that counts as going through the ring. Was the ring up? That's the ring. I went to the wrong ring. Silly me. Ooh. Back to Driss. That way. I'm really liking the compass. That's a really nice, really nice little feature. Off we get. Hello! I return to Driss, who sometimes manages to seem to caught off guard, despite knowing I was coming. Sable, congratulations! How was your first pre-glide ride? Any strange rattles, unexplained hissing, small fires? What do you mean fires? Surely you'd notice if you were on fire, even a little bit. Yes, absolutely. Well, obviously it didn't happen, so I think we're fine. Driss, is this bike dangerous? Well, he doesn't finish. Have you already been by Halal? Am I not getting a bike? Well, you're getting the use of this sand cutter. That's something, eh? You can borrow it to run your little errands. My little errands? And Hilal's got something to show you, too. Help you out with more of that mobility you're after. With my confidence in this exercise only lightly tarnished, I thank Driss very much for his help and his bike, and I depart for Hilal. So this is the bike for now. If I can ride it into camp. No, that's the entrance to camp over there, so I guess... In we go. Oh, this isn't the entrance to camp. This is some sort of shrine. Ibexi red dye, the dye bottle for colours of the Ibexi red bike. Interesting. 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 All I did was approach that cave, and suddenly I was in the camp last time. But that must have been. I just got close enough to activate a cutscene. Throw the bucket. Right, how do we get up there? How on earth do we get up to her? Unless Hilal... No, that's my bike. Intriguing. Hilal and Driss. Climb the wall. Of course I can climb. Of course. Sorry, I'm forgetting I can climb things. That's jumping down. Oh. There we go. Like a Muppet. There we go. Jadi greets me warmly. Hello, little glider. It's so strange being called that. I tell Jadi how strange it is being called glider instead of Sable or even Clanchild. Just trying to get you used to it, she says. She seems to really like it, and maybe I like it too. My little glider. Oh. Okay. Hello! Head over to the temple, Sable. I promise it'll be worth the trip. Of course, yes. I need to head over there, don't I? Well, let's get to my bike. How do we... I wonder how we climb... Because so far I've been finding it hard to get to edges, and then I sort of have to fall off and turn around as I fall. How do we actually use the ladder? Do we press X? B? Y? No? We just sort of fall off the ladder and then have to turn around. Okay, well, just as long as I know. Where's my mic? Over here. Now the temple is over... over there, I guess. Yeah. we go. Looks like the sun's coming up as well. Oh, this really is a janky bike. Oh, okay, so strafing is a mode. You press A to sort of get into strafe mode. That must be for like dodging obstacles, and then A takes you back to drive again. That's quite cool. Oh, get off my bike. Just about made it. Here are the ruins. Oh, what's that? Chum egg. Chum egg offered up by chums when planting themselves into the ground. Perfectly smooth and hard as a rock, these eggs seem to float with how light they are. There must be a good place to deliver these. Okay. Is this the right temple? I'm not sure this is necessarily the right place. Climb the wall. Well, that was, yeah, back there. Do we actually have a map? We do. Can we zoom in? We can. So I'm looking for an altar. Maybe the chum egg was what I was after? Drisk asks me a series of increasingly strange questions before I make an excuse and take my leave. Okay. Fair enough. What is that? It's like a little glass sort of, I don't know, tea or hashish type thing. Let's go and see Halal again. Halal, sorry. So I got the impression that the temple was over in that direction. It did, didn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Let's check our quest again. Whispering Stones. Okay. Yeah. That falling, you need to be very careful with that. get on our bike and head over. Where's my bike gone? Oh, there it is. It really is a very slow bike. Do you know, I'm slightly gutted because I genuinely am and have been really looking forward to playing this game, but I'm also just feeling quite tired. I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather actually, so my eyelids are incredibly heavy. I'm sort of like trying not to falter too soon. I want to take in as much as I can this evening. That must be where I'm heading to, up there. No, not there, up here. So, we're careful with the camera. Yeah, the camera can get a little bit slightly out of control at times, I'm finding. But maybe there'll be a patch at some point. I think yeah, it's a tutorial bike it. Yeah, I think so. More sleep is needed. More sleep is probably needed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not at 100%. Okay, let's climb this. Oh, I've got enough stamina to get up there. Just about. Okay. Ah, this is just a beautiful game. I really do hope it does come to Switch, because I can imagine this being a really cool game to play. Yeah, just sort of take out of your pocket and, or whatever, out of your bag and play on while you're travelling. But it's at the moment at least it seems to be a Microsoft and PC only thing. Chum egg. Yes, hello Smig. Thank you for the chum egg. Chum. Where am I heading now? Is this the altar? Look at that. There's someone wearing a welding mask with butterfly wings. Oh, 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 oh! Oh, blimey. What happened with that shadow? What happened there? Look at that shadow changing. Why is it changing? Where's it coming from? Maybe it's just changing because the sun is moving, but look at the shapes. Gorgeous. It's sort of giving me Breath of the Wild vibes. Yeah, the climbing mechanic is very similar. It doesn't feel as smooth and slick as Breath of the Wild, but that's okay. I mean, right now I'm primarily mesmerized by the art style. I can actually scarcely believe I'm finally playing this game. And thinking about it for so long. The stone thrums like the beat of a heart as I approach the altar. Am I afraid, exhilarated? Or maybe it feels right? Exhilarated. I am ready for Rohana to know me. I'm ready to know myself. I feel her curiosity in this sacred place. I know I am her in her sight. This is the art style of someone who's not afraid to take chances, yes. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh. How interesting. Mm. What on earth happened? I love this figure here. It's almost like a shrouded, like a mummy almost, isn't it? Or an unknowable entity wrapped in cloth. As a sculpture. Show Hilal the activated glidestone. Press and hold A to glide in midair. Ooh. Oh, that's a nice feature. A little bit Breath of the Wildy, maybe. Hmm. Oh. Okay, this gets us to up to a place where we can hopefully climb up. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. What I'm finding interesting as well is that because of the muted color scheme in the shadows, you're having to pay much more attention to the line work um, in the game in order to understand the space that you're in. Running animation is too cute. It is, isn't it? It's very. I quite like the sort of the reduced frame rate for all of their movements actually. And whoop. And there we go. Oh, is this what the statue represented? That you were going to get the power of gliding, or wingedness from within. Here we are on the edge. I mean, it just like it's just beautiful. This is such a wonderful art style and such a wonderful choice for the game. Hmm. Look at how elongated shadow there, drawn out, joined by another shadow. It feels like you're watching an animation, doesn't it? Oh, I see. So this was like a covered approach to a temple, or to the temple. Broken steps leading up to it. Ah, another covered approach. Looks like a pilgrim's way. Hmm. And there's my bike. Oh, the bubble is fantastic. Okay. Off we go. Oh, got caught on a bush there. Oh no, oh. Careful now. need to be careful with the geology and the smoke. What on earth is that? Is that bubble up there? Not the bubble, the balloon. Can we get to it from that? From that rock? Presumably we can. My understanding is that there isn't any combat in the game, and also that fail states aren't really a thing either. As she looks out across the landscape, Zeki's shoulders sag a little. I wonder what she's thinking about. Something on your mind? Zeki's voice is weakly incredulous. I don't know how she's done it. That Ilaria over there. I follow her gaze a little and speak at a little speck in the distance, which I now understand is her daughter Ilaria. Do you want me to get her back? Zeki shakes her head. No, she's fine, and I'll get her. She shrugs. Parenting. I suppose I'll know more about that when I'm older. Okay. And actually, in some way, because when I was playing, when I went from playing Breath of the Wild to playing, for example, Skyrim, and I found myself missing so many features of Breath of the Wild, namely climbing wherever you want to and being able to use the glider. It's interesting how this game hasn't said to itself, no, we can't possibly use climb any way you want in the glider, because that's what Zelda did. They found their own way to do gliding and to have that sort of traversal, sort of slightly unapologetically, really. They've just go, okay, well that's the standard now. I guess that's what we're going to offer. Well, that is a standard. And same goes for the stamina meter. I can respect that. The balloon. Look at that hat. I want one. Ilaria. The balloon was more fun than the person in it. Okay. I approach the cartographer. Cartographer Jordan. Jordan, maybe? Ah, greetings, child. I saw you looking longingly at my great balloon. Quite a piece of work, isn't she? She really is. I nod enthusiastically. It really is an impressive vessel. However nervous I get imagining being up there all alone, I wonder if anyone's ever fallen off one. Best not think to ask right now. Well, good to meet you, and oh, I should introduce myself. I am Jordan. Jordan, there you go, Jordan. I tell him I'm Sable. Suppose if you've come all this way to see me, it's probably a map you're after, eh, Sable? I would love a map. I tell the cartographer, I would love a map. Of course you would. That'll be 50 cuts. To my ears, it's a fair price for a map, but too expensive for a pre-gliding glider with empty pockets. I tell Jordan I'll be back. I'll need to ask Jedi for some money. Farewell, child. Need some money. Money. Can we go in? Ah, we can't go in. We cannot go in. We cannot go in. Do you know, actually, a little bit like when I first played Breath of the Wild, I'm having to try and remind myself to actually really enjoy and savor this. The fact that I'm actually playing the game. Oh yeah. Well, there's my first yawn. I tell Jedi that the cartographer wants 50 cuts for a map of the Iwa. Of the Iwa. Iwa? Awa. Aware. That's 50 cuts for a map of the Aware. I try to hedge the way I speak about this, as I'm not entirely sure whether that's too much, not enough, or precisely its value. She tells me not to worry. Here's some money to get you going on your journey. Use it most wisely, and then a little unwisely when the mood strikes. It's good to know the value of money, but you never want to be ruled by it. I thank Jedi effusively and head out on my way. These features might go the way of the double jump, which is not associated with one specific game anymore. Yeah, I think you're right. I think, yeah, and the same goes, you know, for things like rumbling controllers and, you know, you know, conventions for how we think about save states in games as well. I think after a while, you just sort of, they are simply a part of gaming, aren't they? I absolutely love the Ahoy YouTube channel and its documentaries on various things. They did one, probably my favourite investigative journalistic documentary of all time was about the game Polybius, but also they did an excellent video on the origin of the red barrel as an explosive device in computer games. I can strongly recommend that one. Greetings, child! I'll buy that map. Perfect, let's trade! Here we go. A map of Uwe, sold by members of the Cartography Guild. I thank Jordan for the Uwe map and all its vast possibilities. Something about this makes it feel more real. Good luck on your gliding, Sable. I still remember mine. I asked how it was. Short. I knew since I was a boy that cartography was for me, but I spent a little extra time out there just to enjoy the world. Speaking of, keep an eye out on the skies, eh? Plenty of my colleagues out there, and they'll have more maps to sell you, from Hakoa to the Sodic Waste. Or Sodic Waste. I thank Jordan for the tip and say goodbye. Farewell, child! Ew. Oh dear. Right. Let's look at that shadow. Look at it move. I love it. I love it. Right. That's a ruined ship over there. Is there actually a limit on how far we can glide? Or do we just glide until we can't glide? Yeah, the ruins of a ship. Or a very large boat. Was this an ancient sea? Right, where's my bike? We need to go back and see Hilal, don't we? Tell him about the gliding. Sorry, tell them about the gliding. Ibex camp. Did we even talk? I don't think we talked to the Thresher man, did we, before? Umar is a man of few words, and he's nothing if not consistent. Okay. At some point, there's another graphic novel that this game reminds me of. At some point, I'll have to do a review, a review of it. It's not really a graphic novel actually. It's more like a no, it is a graphic novel. Yeah, a review of it in video form. But it has a very similar art style, yeah, to this. No, that's not Mobius, though. I just admire as you say, it's confident, isn't it? It is confident to have this notion of lines and simple colours, and also how you draw. Because when you are doing art, when you start out with your art, one of the things that you're encouraged to get away from is defining everything with a line. You sort of start to realize that, in painting, for example, they're actually making the lines disappear because we don't really see lines in real life, do we? Sea lions? What? Sea lions? No, we don't really see the edges of things. We see where the colours go up to, and then you see the background or you see the foreground. This is how the world visually appears to us. And yet, I suspect this sort of artwork and the sort of artwork that it's referencing is someone who's gone through that process, has an excellent draftsmanship or draft skill ability, can play with colour. It doesn't necessarily require line, but then also actually understands the power of lines in terms of communicating things like technological details and, as we were talking about before, erosion, this kind of thing. When I return to Hilal, it's clear they know what I've just experienced. They're excited on my behalf in a way that makes me miss them before I've even left. Isn't it incredible? How does it feel? Exciting, true freedom. I tell Hilal that hovering is exciting and ramble for a moment about all the things I'll be able to do when I'm out there in the world. Most of them involve me falling on my head and not getting hurt, but I'm sure I'll come up with more in practice. Right, you can do anything you want. Hilal's mood doesn't darken, but the sigh they let out holds a bit of sorrow. You're very lucky, you know. I miss it so much, that feeling, just floating on the breeze. But I suppose it's best that it fades with age, Or else I might never have come back from my gliding. I'd just be out there, heaving myself into chasms. I'll heave myself into chasms for you. I tell Hilal I'll throw myself into 1,000 chasms on their behalf, and they giggle. That's what I like to hear. I know people manage to keep it up, but I don't know that I've got the time to practice as much as they do. It takes a really serious focus. Hilal laughs, even if there's a bit of regret in it. And I certainly haven't got that. Still, I suppose that gliding wouldn't mean much if it were all gains and no loss. I think about that, but decide that there's already too much loss on my mind to consider it even much further. I'm saying goodbye to my clan, my family, my home, my childhood. To lose the perpetual is a sacrifice for another time. You're going to live it out there, Sable, even when you don't. My advice, try to have fun. There's a lot to be said about ritual and independence and all that out there, but the world's an easier place if you put joy first. I thank Hilal for their advice and for their help, and tell them I'll miss them. I'll be over it before you know it. A warning and a reassurance all in one. I say goodbye to Hilal. Before I go, Hilal gestures towards the tower. It seems Cizo wishes to see me before I leave the clan. Okay, thank you. I always wonder how people get to look like this. If they have ever had a clear vision off the bat. If there were happy accidents during prototyping. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. All the lines appear to be the same thickness, which is an interesting choice, given a hand-drawn look. Indeed, Earth to Tree. Good evening. Good to see you. It is, isn't it? There's not, and also the other thing as well is there's no hatching. There's no cross hatching or thin, not just the thickness of the lines, but the closeness of the lines together to communicate, for example, shadow and shade and this kind of thing. That's not there. What you have are maybe circular or rounded off shapes. No, is it circuitous shapes? Is that the right word? Because these aren't really circles, but they are describing things like pebbles on the ground, this kind of thing, and line. So shape and line, I suppose, isn't it? Shape and line, and simple colours. Anyway, I need to climb the tower. Up we go. Oh, is that our that is our cartographer friend. Up higher than the cartographer. Oh, get some more cuts. Hello. Cizo is an outclanner to the Ibexi, but I've known her for nearly as long as I can recall, and I think of her more as a kind of distant relation than any sort of outsider. Machinists, I'm told, are given their posts, and by their training and their code, must go to where they are needed. But Cizo has been among us so long that it's easy to forget it's an assignment first and foremost. As far as any of us are concerned, she is one of us. I think there's a perception among the other clans that it's the Ibexi, who are quite insular. That the Ibexi are quite insular, or that our designation of Ibexi versus outclanners suggests some nervous othering of those who are unlike us. But in practice, such things are much more the result of our nomadic nature. We seek to know who will travel with us, and who we must leave behind. But all are welcome to join. And I'm always pleased that Cizo did. Sable, how do you do, clan child? I can only think of one thing. Better now I'm getting a bike. Excited for my bike. A bit worried. Am I really getting a bike? Cizo has a throaty quality to her voice, and it rumbles through her mask when she laughs. She's quite a serious person most days, and I'm always torn between pride and alarm when I manage to make her chuckle. Yes, Jedi told me how excited you were. Cizo sniffs. She's also told me Driss would be coming along to get your bike together, but I think he may have... I knew it! What? I hadn't meant to say that out loud, so I tell her I was just clearing my throat. I don't begrudge Driss his forgetfulness. Were I tasked with so many odds and ends, I might be just as scattered. And besides, this'll be good for you. I want you to scavenge the hoverbike parts yourself. Okay. I'm going to make my own hoverbike? I ask Cizo if I'm expected to make my own hoverbike. No, you're not going to make your hoverbike. You're going to build your own hoverbike. What's the difference? To make suggests that you are creating something, but your bike already exists. They simply haven't taken form yet. Interesting. Here, take this. Cizo hands me something. This is a navigator. You can use it to mark waypoints on your compass. It should be useful in finding the old parts. I ask Cizo where I might start looking. Jody. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Jardy. Our bikes are reborn in the ruined ships, in fragments spread apart. A good start would be ship down there near the camp. You'll find another up there, up on that great rock, near the other side of the canyon. And another behind the old dam on the hill. Use your navigator to mark that down if you need. You'll need to gather a control panel, a power supply, and a calibrator. Do most gliders make their own bikes? I ask Cizo if most gliders really make their own bikes. Only the lucky ones. I tell Cizo I'll see her soon, and head off in search of the components. Together we'll create something new out of something old. Out of the old. Okay, navigator. Press RB to use the navigator to mark interesting landmarks that appear on your compass. You can also add and remove markers from the map screen. Try placing a marker. Okay. Well, if we go over to the dam, for example. Where's the dam? There it is. So marker place there. And then there's a marker, was the ship that she was talking about. it's just here. And then to somewhere over there. Could it be that red thing there? Okay. Let's check our map. The inner monologue is quite funny, isn't it? Down we go. Yeah, so thankfully tomorrow I have a relatively light day planned. I've got a dentist appointment in the morning and then a phone call consultation type thing. And in the afternoon I was going to go and visit the Bamborough Research Project, an archaeological site up in Bamborough, not too far from Lindisfarne. And unfortunately, because I've been feeling ill and was waiting on a COVID test, I couldn't go last week. And then the week before that, when they started their project this year, I had a bad back. I couldn't drive up. And then this week, I've been busy up until today and tomorrow. And tomorrow they're packing up. They've had their 3-week season. So I just got an email off Graham, a friend and colleague, I guess, yeah, but primarily an archaeological friend. And he was saying, we're very welcome to come and visit, see him, come over for a visit, over the weekend or something, or sometime. But unfortunately, we probably missed the archaeology for this year. That sucks. Yeah, mega bummer. And it's no one's fault, I couldn't have gone up. I couldn't have driven myself a couple of weeks ago. And the past 7 to 10 days, it wouldn't have been responsible to go up and be a potential infection vector. And frankly, I've definitely got a head cold still. So yeah, I've got something. So maybe it wouldn't have been responsible to go up and pass on whatever it is I have got. But yeah, bit of a shame. I was really looking forward just to seeing some friends, being amongst some archaeology that was low pressure. No need to even film it if I didn't want to. But I was looking forward to getting some shots. Although the one positive from today, it's on the dining table, is I got the controller for my drone back finally. I say finally. It was posted 2 days ago and it arrived back today. So that's a positive. So next time I do go out into the field, I'll have my drone, which is good. Okay, so let's head this way first. I wonder if I put my reading glasses on, will this help me this evening? Does my left eye is feeling so tired? So let's give it a go with my reading glasses. Oh, will that help me? It might do. Let's see. Although actually, yeah, I might need to go to the opticians actually. With how tired my left eye feels quite often. But it could just be generally tiredness, having been a little bit under the weather. Aha! So this isn't so much an ocean then, this is a lake, if there's a dam over there. And what on earth is that? Oh, that's the temple that we were in at the beginning of the game. Oh, okay. Eye strain. Yeah, it might be eye strain. It must be some form. This is a little bit better. Hopefully the glare isn't too much from the light. Oh wow! Look at that! Just look at that. That's intricate and evocative and the best aspects of sci-fi. Slightly grimy. Beat to heck. Oh, there's the camera going a bit wonky again. Love it. How magnificent. Oh, what a contrast to outside. There's nothing of use to be found in the ship, but I notice a blinking light flashing on the dashboard of the cockpit. Push that button. Okay. A voice crackles from the machinery in front of me. It sounds like a recording. It's barely audible. Stop messing about with those buttons, you absolute idiot. Sorry, Ramin. Concentrate. I don't think I have to remind you how much work it was to get this far. We're almost there. Very Star Wars, isn't it? Yes, very Star Wars. Alright, let's see if that old machinist told us what that... Let's see if what that old machinist told us holds up. If not, there'll be hell to pay. I hear sounds of mechanical adjustments being made. 3 clicks. Buttons being pressed, perhaps. Okay, when I push this orange thing, pull that lever. Hard. Yes, Ramin. The sound of a click and a loud grunt before a snapping sound. Oh, on Rona's mask. Not that hard. You've torn it out. Suddenly the speakers are filled with static and a low rumble that gradually increases in pitch. Then, the sound of someone cheering. It worked! We're flying! More cheering. Is that the sound of someone dancing? Okay, let's focus. This thing is moving fast. We need to slow it down a bit. How do we do that, Ramin? Or Ramin? Let me see. Let me check the machinist notes. A long pause, the rumbling static sound then started playing. The rumbling static sound that started playing when the ship took off is still increasing in pitch. Ramin? That lever, Toma! The one I just ripped out. You just ripped out. We're going too fast. We're going to crash. We need to try to... The recording cuts off. There. Oh, so someone started flying and then crashed their ship in relatively short order. Look at that for a control panel. I mean, it's very Star Wars, but it's also very... it's a little bit Space Odyssey as well, isn't it? A little bit... Well, a little bit Mobius, actually. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, yeah, Lego. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's a little bit Lego-y. Feels sort of modular in that sense, doesn't it? Arms folded. Looking for a calibrator. I am immediately on guard. Samer has always been a mischief maker and taken tremendous pleasure in tormenting me. In theory, I am older, more experienced, and should be able to withstand it. In practice. You won't find it here. I've hidden it. You'll never find it. Never, never. She never fails to get me. To get to me. Give it back, Samer. I order Samer to give it back. I'm a gliding age, and she is a child. No, I don't think I will. Samer laughs off my irritation. But I'm not going to give her the satisfaction. I cross my arms and try to effect a change. I'll give you the calibrator. I put out my hand, proud of myself for standing tall before Samer. If you give me some beetles, she says. That's a fair trade. Oh, there's a beetle girl in Ah, yeah, the Twilight Princess, isn't there? Zelda Twilight Princess. Is that a reference? I wonder. That's a fair trade, isn't it? Something you want for something I want. I try to decide if it's more mature to push her over and steal the calibrator, or to acquiesce. But then I simply stifle a sigh and shake her little hand. Perhaps some of the adults in the camp know where I can find some. Beetle Detour, yeah. Just wonderful. Masks and all. Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, that is quite Zelda. Look at that ship. Look at that ruin of the ship. Just gonna drive around it one more time. How completely excellent. Right, we're back to the camp. I need some advice on beetle finding. Beetle wrangling. I'll need me some beetles. Look at her running off. Running back to where she was. How is it that Simon manages to contain so much chaos and verve in so small a form? Even now there is something troublesome being dreamed up behind that mask. I know it. Well, we found out what it was. It was her beetle caper. There we go. There are steps up into the camp. Very civilized. Okay. Let's see if I could ask about catching beetles. That awful little Slimer. Do you know where I can find some beetles? There's a nest of beetles just east of here. You can't just walk up and catch it, though. There's some seeds growing on the rocks around the nest. Drop a seed on the floor and the beetle will start eating it. Then you can sneak up and grab it. There was a beetle in the opening cutscene, wasn't there, for the game? Jadai. Jardi? Jaddy. I'll go with Jaddy. Jaddy? Greets me warmly. Hello, little glider. So strange being called that. I tell Jaddy how strange it is being called Glider instead of Sable or even Clownchild. Just try to get used to it. She seems to really like it, and maybe I like it too. My little Glider. Okay, beetles. Here we go. Beetles to the east. If I can... Beetle Detour, yeah. So over here, maybe? Really is just so excellent, this there's been such an explosion, hasn't there, in recent years, of the ability of game developers of all sizes to create such genuinely beautiful and inventive and exciting experiences. It really is incredible. And not a microtransaction in sight. You know? None of that cynical nonsense. Just, well, art, actually. That question of whether or not a computer game is art is surely one of the past, isn't it? Where's the beetle rock? Is it up there? Go to make it to the top. Hopefully, 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 hopefully. No! Ah! Can we climb up here, perhaps? It's the way that also technology stands out in these sorts of worlds, and also everything. What do they say? Every frame of painting. You know, in this case, every frame a panel, a graphic novel panel. Yeah, they are, aren't they? They just are. I mean, if nothing else, because they elicit such interactions from us. They are. They bring art, different forms of art together. Music, drawing, you know, painting and that kind of thing. But also creativity and the ability to make an experience. No, you know, no one would say that performance art or that a play, for example, or a musical concert or something isn't art. Okay, so where's that rocker I'm heading to? Is it? What is this metal structure? Oh, there we go. There are some beetles. Aha. What on earth is that thing? Let's throw the seed. You see that little heart on the beetle there? So he's eating. And grab! Yellow elephant beetle. Okay. And one more. This is another end of this spectrum from a Ubisoft formula to keep you stuck grinding for gear unless you pay for their pretend money. Absolutely. And sorry, just need to again my tired eyes. My tired little legs. Yeah, it is absolutely on the other end of that spectrum, and yeah, there's no it's because this is still a bit grindy. You know, they haven't just given you your bike. They haven't just made it simple to get the components that you require. You're still having to do things to get there, but it's good old-fashioned gameplay and reward. It's also storytelling and revealing gameplay possibilities by presenting you with these different scenarios. It's yeah, and in that sense, even if someone might want to make the argument that actually, you know, what Ubisoft does is in some ways, I mean, at the beginning of their games, it is in some ways similar. But then again, lots of games have essentially tutorial portions. But it's for how long that sort of stuff is stretched out and also carried over from game to game. This is so far a fairly new, fresh experience. But you know, so far there hasn't been a tower to climb and activate in order to get hold of a map or something. You know, this kind of thing. Is this really poor man's Zelda, like people advertise it on stream. No, no. I think so far this isn't Zelda, and I wouldn't say it's poor man's anything. This is um, inspired by Zelda. Hello, Moto HS, by the way, or Moto HS. Um, I'd say it's borrowing elements from Breath of the Wild, but as we were discussing earlier on, some of these elements are just becoming parts of gameplay in the same way that we don't question the double jump, do we? We just go, that's a double jump. We don't go, double jump is from the game it came from. I don't even know which game double jump came from, in fact. It's so ubiquitous now. Um, it's I think one of the reviews that I watched earlier today said that it's a game that won't appeal to everyone, and that's probably true. Some people will be like, well, this is just, why can't we just do the things that we can do, for example, in Zelda? And why have they only borrowed some gameplay elements from that game and left others so so lacking? For example, there doesn't seem to be so far any way in which you can get a game over in this game, um, and that's okay because I'm in this instance primarily enjoying the style of the game, the the story, and the exploration and the intrigue. So so no, I wouldn't say it's poor man's Zelda because I should also say I'm a huge fan of Zelda. Zelda was my first open world game love, as it were. My first ever Zelda game was Link's Awakening on Game Boy, and the idea of having a little world in your pocket, being able to explore that and take it with you. Well, in your pocket, who am I kidding? In your backpack when you're a kid, even when you're an adult, frankly, with the original Game Boy, was so exciting, so enthralling. It hooked me, and now I look for those experiences all over the place. Um, Days Gone gave me a very similar sense of excitement when I started playing that, and it's probably at this stage my favourite realistic open world, modern setting open world game. Um, and in this instance, I've been so excited to play this game ever since I first saw screenshots of it or the trailer for Sable. Um, Primarily initially because of the art style, and as we've been talking about earlier in the stream, the use of line in very specific ways. So, as we were saying, not cross-hatching, not having the lines close together, but rather having the confidence to imply things like rocks on the ground or the texture of that dome up on the top of the tower, the brickwork even, using relatively flat, simple colours or washes. You'll sort of see how the green goes into a blue and grey in the background there. It's in its own way is worthwhile experiencing. So I mean that makes sense, but the character progression is different. So I guess you have to try it before you have a good idea. I think so. I think so. And I think it's also, I should say, it's also okay not to like it, isn't it? It's okay um, to decide that you prefer, for example, Breath of the Wild. Um, but I suppose, to put that another way, this game is not a Breath of the Wild clone. And surely to goodness, that's the last thing the world needs, is another slightly pastel-y open world clone that's not as good as Breath of the Wild. I'm looking at you. Is it Genshin Impact? Is that it? Um, I played it, whatever it is called. I played it very briefly, and that was a Breath of the Wild clone. I wasn't too impressed with. Whereas this is not suffering from any of those problems. This is the workshop where presumably Drissy works on bikes. Speaking of which, where's my bike? Where's my bike? It's over there. Okay. Let us give our beetles to our little parts hider. I feel embarrassingly vindicated as I hand Saima, the beetles, but rather than gloat, she hands me the calibrator and begins to cry. What have I done? You're leaving, and you'll never come back, she says. Comfort her. She blows her nose and then wipes her hand on her tunic. Yara never came back after the last gliding. Aren't you sad? You were her friend. She might visit again one day. Can I select that one? I can't. Interesting. Okay, I miss her too. There's been a letter here and there, but it's always to us rather than to me. I'm not bitter. I hope not to be like that. Please don't go. I tell Simon not to worry, and I'll be back sooner than she knows. And I'm sure she pouts behind the mask. And I add that if I'm not back sooner than she knows, then she'll be ready for her gliding, and then she can come and bother me herself. Promise? I say yes. Good, then I suppose I can come see you off. I thank her and say goodbye for now. Beetle Detour, okay. So that's ship of old number 1. Let's go to our missions. Go to number 2, I guess. I really can't wait to get a better bike. I cannot wait to get a better bike. I think already this game is surprising me in terms of how it's proceeding, and I don't feel the need to directly compare it to anything just yet. Actually, obviously we've noted how some elements are borrowed from other games. Hey, Motor HS has followed. Thanks for the follow. Right, let's climb up here. Let's climb up here. Up we go. It's interesting. So you have the implication that this was a lake. You have wooden vessels sunk at the bottom. You have metal vessels that have crashed into the landscape. But also you have these structures, these sort of stone structures built with little windows and things and pillars that maybe came after the lake bed dried, or were they here before it was a lake, and then the lake flooded that landscape and then dried out. I don't know. I guess we'll have to try and figure that stuff out at some point. Oh, come on! No! Ah, rats. Can we? No. For some reason, she's not happy with that. Let's go back up again. How did I mess that up so much? Gooble, gobble, gooble. Gooble, gobble, one of us. You're going to scare off the normal people. The feeling you described regarding Zelda, I had a similar one the first time I played Baldur's Gate. Ever since then, I looked for that experience in all the games I play. Yeah, I think that's not uncommon. I think, and also actually, so for example, it's you run the risk of sounding a little bit cliched when you say it, but Elder Scrolls Skyrim absolutely delivered some of that joy to me the first time I played that game. That is to be found, and so far I'm not expecting. To be clear, I don't think I'm expecting that from this game. I think what I want from this game, and what I'm getting, is delight. Not least in the fact that because if talking about another Zelda game, the Wind Waker, the cell shading in that game was such a delight to play. I mean, I do remember the controversy when it came out, and people were calling, was it Toon Link, and what did they say? Was it Cameron Diaz's quiff on Link in that game? But the art style holds up. It was ahead of its time, and it there we go. Yeah, cool. And it was a new experience. And given just that, I need to glide for longer before I jump over that gap. And given how much I'm fascinated by the art that has inspired this art, if they can along the way provide us with an intriguing world and layers of for example, as we're already seeing, geological, technological, and architectural intrigue, then I'll be happy. You know. Also, it's a £20 game. This isn't Breath of the Wild territory. I don't think. I don't think it's trying to be in that sense. Wind Waker is a good comparison, and a bit of No Man's Sky. Yeah, a bit of No Man's Sky. I think so as well. I think so. Although No Man's Sky, I think, made the mistake. There we go. That's better. Made the mistake of I accidentally knocked my volume knob there. Made the mistake of overselling what you were going to get. This game, if anything, has been quite quiet in comparison. Just letting the visuals do the speaking, and in that sense, it set a certain number of expectations, and so far it's meeting them. I'm in love with this art style. Now there's the ship we're after. We get any higher on this before we float over. I love the way that you're reminded of the colours of everything when the daylight comes in this sort of day-night cycle. It's quite cool, the relative vibrancy of the colours. Aha! I thought there might be a treasure chest up here. Yay! Right. Is that what we're after? Atomic power supply. Brilliant. Can we crouch? Yep, there we go. I love the textures on these things. Look at the sun for a second, please. Yep, sure, yep. Where is the sun? Is it behind that rock? Where is it? I'm getting a bit of screen tearing there as we rotate the camera. Maybe it's behind that cloud. Sorry about that. I'll have to... Yeah, it is behind the clouds. When the clouds move, I shall look at the sun again. Don't look directly at the sun. That's a big cloud. That's not a cloud, that's the sky. I love this spaceship we're in. Again, there's something a little bit Star Wars about it, isn't there? The first time I ever saw an engine with that sort of this sort of scale was the back of a Star Destroyer, you know. Wonderful. Come on, son, where are you? Determined to hide. Right, well we've got that part. Let's go to our third and final part. Go to our bike first of all. She is not over there. What is over there then? Nope. The cloud, that is a tremendous cloud. Oh, was that a tree that I saw? I was gliding towards. Yes, it's a tree. Okay. Well, from above, from high up, it looks more interesting than a tree. Nope. Yeah, sorry. Next time we see the sun, I will stop and look at it for a little bit. There's our bike. And off we go to our third destination, control panel. Up by the old dam. It's interesting as well that they know that they recognise that it is a dam as well. So they must have had the notion, having seen these boat ruins, for example, of where they are, and what this place was. Speaking of just finding things in random places, and also speaking of Zelda, I love how the Minish or the Picori were eventually described as being the reason that Link finds rupees and life-giving, hearts and things in random places like jars and bushes, because they are little gifts to the Hylians from essentially their version of borrowers. I think that's absolutely lovely. It's a nice little sort of in-game reason for finding all this stuff around. Can we see the sun now? Nope, we cannot see the sun. Let's go up this dam. Damn! Ladder. Look at the little poofs of dust as you climb the ladder. That's quite cool. We find what we're after. This is the control panel. Oh. Right, so that's a lever. Is that where we're going? Let's climb up here, shall we? There we go. Now, can we hover over there from here? Yeah. Oh, and here we are, another bit of spaceship behind the dam. Another barge as well, or boat, or ship. Apparently the designation is that a ship can carry a boat. So there's no hard and fast rule as to what the size of a ship or a boat is, but a ship can carry a boat. Apparently. Oh, what does this do? What on earth does this do? I'm going to carry it with me, because maybe it's useful for something. Well, maybe not. Oh, what happens if I throw it? Nothing. Look at that, just look at that. It's just gorgeous. Go back. Oh, do you think it needs to go in there? Me being in Muppet. There we go. Oh. Can we see the sun yet? Nope. Oh. Atomic control panel. Ships of old. Can we get down to that bottom, that level down there? Doesn't look like we can. Nope. It's all sort of fenced off. Also, the sound effect as you're running around on the metal. It's quite pleasant. Right. What's over here? Deliver parts to Caesar. We can do that. It also, actually, just for a second here, it takes a certain amount of, again, I guess, confidence to have your hero or your heroine's, your protagonist's clothes match so closely the exact, fairly blocked out color of the geology there. It sort of, again, it speaks to a certain, that there's a color palette. Again, it feels like this is a hand-drawn artist's choice or motif. It is consistent in that sense, which adds to the sense of it being a vision, as it were, being a cohesive vision, or even just simply being, to a certain extent, crafted, Exactly. It looks like there's an army of artists drawing every frame while you're playing it. That's exactly what I'm getting at. It is superb. Now, we've got to look at those two trees, haven't we, while we're up here? If we can get up there. Oh, what is this? 20. It's like a little shrine. Some candles there. Happy little guy. That's brilliant. Shrine to Frosty the Snowman. Yeah. In this heat, what's left of him? Absolutely. Frosty the Snowman. I noticed that yesterday's live stream had a couple of sections. Yesterday evening's live stream had a couple of sections muted after the fact, talking about copyrighted audio, although nothing other than the game had been playing. Does that sometimes happen when in games, when the Twitch system detects maybe a game soundtrack and thinks that it is copyrighted? Never had it happen to me before, but just then when I sort of was tempted to start singing a version of Frosty the Snowman, I was reminded of it. Chum egg, thank you. Hooray! He plays music though. Right, yeah. And unfortunately, obviously, I can't check what was playing at the time because they've muted it. They've muted the stream. There's no copyright issues. I haven't, received any strike notifications or anything like that. But it was a curious thing to realise this morning. Now keep on doing that thing from Breath of the Wild where you press A to jump. So as you're climbing and jump, you sort of jump and grab the rock again. But in this game, if you press A, you let go, which or the equivalent of A, as it were, the jump button. You let go, which is taking a little bit of getting used to. Look at the stars. I mean, that is, an army of artists, isn't it? It's just drawing every frame as we go. That's my bike, there it is. Back to Cizo on top of the tower. Were you muted too, or does Twitch separate mic and game? No, it's Twitch is just receiving in a single OBS stream everything that's coming out of my computer, so that includes the desktop and the microphone. So yes, I was muted too. Yeah, unfortunately. And I wouldn't mind if I was listening. This is one of the reasons why I haven't returned to playing BioShock, because BioShock is crammed with copyrighted music. Which is a shame, because I really love the BioShock games. But, yeah. Right, so let's go. Let's climb the tower. Ooh, excuse me. Up we go. Oh. That's the map maker. Where did Caesar go? fell in love with the music from Fallout 4 and downloaded a bunch of the old songs from the 40s on archive.org. We actually had a load of those songs playing at our wedding reception. We had a playlist that was basically Fallout 3, Fallout 3's soundtrack. Oh, there we go. I was at the wrong side of the tower. Not over there. She's over here. I returned to CISO with the parts, and it's as she waves me over that I feel a pang of sadness in my chest. When will I see her again once I'm gone? Well done, Sable. Yes, this is everything we need. Are you ready to assemble a bike of your own? I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Then let us head to the workshop. Three on New Vegas. Yeah, well, yeah, but they're both excellent, aren't they? Yeah, here we are at the workshop. I thought this was a workshop. Caesar relaxes in the workshop. It isn't that she's particularly rigid or anxious ordinarily, but there's a certain calm beauty that one only truly appreciates when Caesar is in her element. I wonder if it's this way for all machinists. What you must understand, Sable, is that the components you acquired, they fit together, not by chance, not by effort, but by nature. They belong together. They always have belonged to her. All we are doing is assembling her from what she has already been. Interesting. I nod and feel a soft buzzing in my ears. Among my clan we believe that machines have names, held for ages like deep secrets, unheard by those unequipped to listen. We will find this one's name together. Okay. Assemble the machine. I like the giggle. That was cool. She wasn't impressed. Well, in that case, she wasn't the right one. She wasn't the one, was she? Uncle Jasper's fairy tales and tons of Renaissance music. Cool. Yeah, well, I love the way that, in that sense, a good soundtrack can send you on a whole journey of exploration and discovery. Brilliant. And no. There we go. Riding bike booster. Oh, and exactly. Gotta put up with the Fallout music. Put up with. Well, you got to revel in it. Well, hey. Speak to Caesar. Listen. Caesar tilts her head for a moment, listening closer to Simoon. All at once, I know the hoverbike's name. Simoon. I say it with a whisper to let Caesar know. Simoon. Simoon. Well done, Sable. What sort of name is that? I ask Sable what sort of name it is, and if it speaks to any particular clan or culture. If it does, I don't know it. Perhaps you will find out on your journey. Caesar shrugs, mostly to herself. Or perhaps you won't. But I hardly think it matters. You are bonded all the same. I tell Simoon that I am eager to know her better, and Caesar looks quite proudly at the both of us. You are ready then for the gliding. May all the gods turn their faces from you, Sable. Interesting. Anoxa Simoon. Oh, what's that from? Anoxa Simoon. Rings a bell. It rings a bell. May all the gods turn their faces from you, Sable. An odd blessing, perhaps, but Caesar is prone to such things, and I can read in her tone that it meant quite sweetly. You must learn to listen to Simoon, to take care of her. Seek out my fellow machinists on your travels, Sable. They will teach you the art of machine whispering. The mummy, yes. Yes, from the mummy, of course. Machinist badge. Oh, and here, take this. It's a machinist badge. You'll meet plenty of my ilk on your gliding. Show them your worth, and they'll give you more badges. I thank Cizo twice, for good measure, and give a bow. I am ready. There's so many. I should speak to Jedi about gathering to see me off, I guess. Can we ride my bike? Let's ride my bike. No? I want to ride my bike! I want to ride my bike! I want to ride my bike! The final gliding ceremony, okay. Ah, no! That wasn't my bike. This is my bike. Oh. Well, you never know. Maybe I'll get that bike that we've just built as part of the final ceremony. We shall see. I return to Jedi with a new lightness, and it makes the weight of my departure feel heavier still. What a strange day. Sable, is that a badge you've got there? Cizo gave it to me. I tell Jedi that Cizo gave me the badge. Then you must have earned it. Well done. I give a bow of thanks. Well, Sable, if you keep this up, you'll be headed for the Mask Caster in no time. Oh. I tried to think about going to a Mask Caster, but it seems impossibly far away. Imagine choosing what I want to be. Imagine choosing what I want to be forever. I know what you're thinking, but don't worry about it. You'll have plenty of badges when you're out there, and once you've got 3 alike, you can trade it for that mask. But don't feel your first mask is your final choice. The gliding is about freedom and exploration. I suggest you claim as many masks as you wish. Only at your final ceremony will you be asked to choose one. How will I choose? You have to feel it out. But when you know, you'll know. Now. The tone of her now puts butterflies back in my stomach. With all of this done, there's only one thing left. It's time then, isn't it? Time to walk through the face door at the temple of Rohana. And there you'll assemble your gliding mask. And go. There are things I wish to convey to Jedi. Here, depths of love and gratitude and fear and worry and hope. And though I find myself unable to speak any of it in words, I know she understands. Before you leave, child, I made you these. They are dyed with the traditional Ibexi maroon, and I hope provide you a great comfort out there in the desert. When you leave today, you'll no longer be Sable, clan child of the Ibexi. You'll simply be Sable, and the rest will come. But no matter no matter what you are, no matter where your journey takes you, I will always know you, and I will always love you, and I will see you again. I don't know where my journey will end, but I know where it must begin, and I am ready. There we go. I should head off to the temple. That was lovely. Can I put on some new clothes? I can. Oh, cool. Somewhat reminiscent of Zelda, but that's okay. Can we wear them? It won't let me wear them yet. Okay, well. Where's the temple? It's over there, isn't it? Should head to the temple to begin my gliding. now we walk through the face. And that's why we were contemplating the face at the beginning of the game. Because she knew that she had to return to the face. She had to pass through the face at some point. Pass beyond the face. Oh. Oh, wow. What an amazing place. Guess we have to get up there, do we? I like the generosity of the sort of gliding into the edge of a platform, and then she sort of will grab and pull herself up. That's quite welcome. I'm really curious whether we're still in a kind of tutorial, and the game will open up, or if it will be this directed. Hoping for the former. I think it does open up. I think it will open up. Hang on, sorry, this is of course on my earphones. Oh, there we go. I think it is about to open up. Basically, I think this has been a fairly contained tutorial area, and I've just fallen. I need to climb back up these stairs and start again, don't I? Okay. There we go. Oh, so I'm being too impatient. Yeah, being way too impatient. Okay. Can we change into those clothes now? No, we can't. Not yet. Okay. Presumably we're not yet a glider, are we? Now the light's coming out, so we get a bit more of a sense of the colours in this temple, or in this space. Oh, an archer. Oh, a mask. Oh, and many forms on the ground in front of her. Interesting. It's almost like a silent congregation bearing witness to what you're doing. Yeah, this very much reminds me. It's a graphic novel called Habitat, or The Habitat. That has some slightly shocking elements in it. It's got elements of cannibalism, and it's not explicit, but but there's some sort of, the aftermath of cannibalism is in the book, and it's especially people on a space station that's kind of reverted in some ways, like this place. This group of people have, they're no longer living seemingly with spacefaring technology, and they've reverted on this space station to living a sort of a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. And It's excellent. It's a brilliant. I actually first saw a portion of the book in a trade. It was like a comic book trade magazine. Well, not magazine, trade book, catalog book actually. I think for comic buyers, and a local comic book store was going out of business, a small one, and they let me have this catalog. As part of the sample was sort of the opening portion of this graphic novel, Habitat, and when I read the opening portion, I had to get the whole book, and it was not dissimilar to this one. Exactly, yeah. The pooping butterfly statue man again was up there. He was. Now, presumably we have to go up to that statue. How do we get up to you? I love it. I just really, truly love the density of the line work in this game. I love how again, it's an artistic choice. They're conveying a sense of space and traversal wonderfully well, really wonderfully well. Yeah, Twilight Realm in Zelda. I can see that, definitely. Okay, here we go. The last platform, and that guy is holding a rock. No, holding a mask. Interesting. There we go. Oh. You see, and that's the thing as well, with the muted colour palettes, the ability then to have these bright neon colours come in and just... oh, it's magnificent. To your point, the colour palette is so unintuitive that I just realised this would be laughed at in a corporate boardroom. Do you mean in terms of like a game sales pitch? Like again, an Ubisoft might laugh at it. Yeah. Yeah. But no one laughs at the artistry of the again of the inspiration for this sort of stuff. Look at that. They're like holograms. Reminds me of No Face from Spirited Away. And I'm guessing this is going to be my mask. The gliding Ibexi mask. Return to the camp. Can we put it on? We can't, not yet. Right, where's our way out? Up there. Exactly, yeah, you need to take these sort of risks. And the thing is, to anyone with a brain, this isn't a risk. Well, no, it is a risk, because as you say, people are conditioned to expect certain things from games, hence the reason why some people are saying this is a poor man's Zelda, for example, in their impressions of the game. So I suppose it is a risk, but it's only a risk in so much as you know, it's like going from Mona Lisa to Van Gogh's Sunflowers or Starry Night. It's an established, well-respected art form in oh, look at that! Isn't that fantastic? The way the arch frames the tower. Very well respected art form in the realm of graphic novels. So you can say that, you know, they would it's a calculated risk, a very reasonable risk to make use of this sort of artwork. And the fact that so far it feels like night is possibly longer than day, or maybe that's just an emotional impact. Maybe it is in fact equal. But the fact that you don't get to see all of this color uh, as often as I would like is interesting as well. You sort of you relish the sun when it comes. There would be rubies on top of those pillars. Yep, there definitely would have been. There's our post box. Hello, Sable. Jedi's voice echoes strangely through the machine, yet it still warms me. Well, Sable, this is it. By the time you hear this, we will have gone. The gliding is a journey that must begin alone. There's a certain nuance lost in transmission, and for that I'm grateful. It would be far too much to hear the cracks in her voice, and not run weepily into her arms to stay forever. But I'm ready, and so I close my eyes and listen. But though you go by yourself, you are not without friends, you are not without family, you are not without love. These things you will always carry with you as you do your mask. And I know, I am not surprised to do this, but if I were you, I might go and see Utari. They are the machinists at Burnt Oak Station and among Caesar's closest friends. Utari is a good contact to have on one's gliding, and a fine way to get another machinist badge if you're so inclined. Only a suggestion, though. As for all of us, I'll send another message once we've returned to Iwer to keep an eye on the post boxes and try not to forget us. She takes a long breath, and I forget these things as easy as breathing. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I really am tired. She takes a long breath, and I forget that things as easy as breathing could ever exist. The world is waiting, Sable. Good luck. Wow, okay. So this is the huge statues behind you, like Lord of the Rings. I didn't see them, actually. Oh yes, oh yes. Statues meeting with the palms of their hands. Leave the canyon. Oh, there's my bike. Can I change my clothes? It still won't let me. How strange. Well, here we go. Yeah, it would be a bigger risk if you were more concerned with hitting target audiences and maximizing profits. Now this is a much better bike. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Leave the canyon. Okay, well. Is that Anakin's bike? Yeah. I'm glad they're giving us a look at the statues as we leave.
Come in to me, show us the way. I'm caught between the wind and parts of the unknown. Adored between two worlds, a sight to see.
Oh, this this feels almost also a little bit like Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, doesn't it? How completely beautiful. And so it sounded as though the members of the Canyon Village are gone for the foreseeable future. Presumably, in order to aid your sense of being a nomad, they just leave their homes for a while. Blimey. Wow, look at that. Now can we wear those clothes? No. Isn't that strange? It's a transition, yes. I really like that song. Actually, I wonder if to get at the clothes, if we have to use the mouse. Is that it? There we go. We have to use the mouse for some reason. Oh no, or maybe it's after the songs we can put on the clothes. Yeah, okay, we don't have to use the mouse, we have to use the controller. Here we are. In our exploration gear. And there's the sun for you. There we go, Earth's a tree. Setting. Behind the horizon over there. Yep, just about. Let's go to our bike. Quest completed, yeah. Okay, let's save that. Yes, please. Is that saved? I think it is saved. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to call it a night there. It's been 2.5 hours. Wow, it's almost 1 o'clock here, and I have an early morning 9:20 dentist appointment, a checkup. Just to tell me how many fillings I need. I don't know if I need any fillings, but often it's annoyingly bad news. Say ooh again. Ooh. No, that's been absolutely wonderful. I'm so pleased with how this game has begun, and I look forward to seeing where it takes me next. I know I say this often with computer games. I look forward to playing them and returning to them and continuing on the adventures and journeys. But this one, I really am supremely impressed with and marveled by it. And I can't wait to come back. I'll be coming back to this obviously next week, perhaps even before next week. I guess we'll see. But maybe it'd be better to keep this one to an actual schedule so that people have more of a chance of tuning in regularly. So next Thursday, I guess, I shall return to this. If I can stand to wait. Maybe not. Okay, keep an eye on Discord. We'll see. Maybe sooner than that. I'll have to come back to this game. You'll be playing this too. Absolutely. Don't blame you. Don't blame you, Smig. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me on this. For embarking on this adventure. Thank you for the new follow. And until next time, guys, absolutely do take care. It's been a genuine pleasure. And good night to you all.